Good afternoon, all. How are we all this afternoon? Mr. Milligan will be joining us once he sorts the camera out. Because 4 minutes before we went and go live, as we were in the green room discussing issues, Mr. Milligan's camera chucked it. It switched itself off. So, I'm sure he'll show up somewhere. And at some point in the green room, then I'll let him back into the studio. Anyway, let's see who's in. Afternoon, Stephen. Tina up there in Dundee. Stephen Nichol. Peter M. Afternoon, Rosie. Scott Haynes, welcome back. Peter M. I've already had. Stuart Crockett. Hi, Gingers. Hi, Kirsty. Right, back down the way. Bit slow this afternoon. Guess the weather must be good. Well, it's not looking at it right enough. Anyway, let's improve the lighting a little, shall we? And I guess we better set fire to the naughty step as well. Looks like we need a new candle for that while we wait on the other David sorting himself out. Anyway, a few things to talk about this afternoon. We'll see how much we get through. Hi, Alex. Hi, Gillian. Wee bud. What am I doing? I'm just sorting out the naughty step. Let's see if Mr. Milligan's worked out how to use his camera again. Good afternoon.
Right, that went off all by itself. I didn't touch a thing.
These things happen, David.
So it happens again. Just what I had to do was do a complete restart of the system.
Oh dear.
Yes. Oh dear. Right, anyway, you've had an entire weekend to fucking enjoy yourself and no think about me, right? Are you feeling any better?
I'm fine, thanks, mate. No, actually, as you know, David, I'm carrying a wee cold. But I've had 2 paracetamol. Soldier on.
Man flu, that's what it is. Sarah, it's man flu he's got, isn't it?
If it was man flu, I'd be in fucking bed. I wouldn't be sat here yakking to you, boy. I don't get man flu. I leave that for all the sissies out there.
Right, okay.
I'm a real man. I don't get the flu.
Real man, eh? Aye.
We get a cold.
Heard it.
Us real guys, we get a cold. Only the metrosexuals get man flu. That'll be causing all sorts of fucking eyebrows to be raised in the audience. Oh, audience, that reminds me. Hold on, need a couple of bits of paper.
Let's here we see David's in his chair. Sorry, carry on, David.
You see, I taking that stupid thing away from fucking behind my head. The wee cushion thing. I like to sit up straight in a fucking chair. I don't need that batting into the back of my neck.
It's adjustable, you know that, don't you?
Yeah. Come straight fucking off.
Right, folks. By Thursday, David will be back on again. We'll
the bottom 3 transactions there. The bottom 3 transactions there are £250 out to 3 food banks today. Right. And I'll give you the names of them, and they're all going to put a wee mention of us on their social media pages.
Wonderful.
We have got Western Barton Community Food Share, and we've got a St. Augustine's Soup Kitchen and Food for Thought Food Bank, and they're all in Western Bartonshire.
Are we not going to do Drumchapel?
No, they get David. They get the best part of $2,000 each. Half is there at Christmas.
No, you got to understand. It's like to me.
Sorry, you get £1,000 each.
Yeah, it's the next door to me, so I see.
I know you can see it, David.
Yeah.
But I mean, these places are renting in Alexandria and places like that. They've got great need.
I'm not saying that they don't need it as much, but it's just that obviously Drumchapel is one that I actually see. So
But they
anyway,
get £1,000 there Christmas and New Year, so
yeah.
they did all right.
I know that.
So that's where your money went this time, folks. It went to St Augustine's Soup Kitchen, Western Barton Food Share, and Food for Thought Western Barton. Okay.
All I can say, guys, is well done.
And I was in the bank today, and once again, it was somebody who hadn't seen me before. I think they'd been drafted in for the other shift to cover the way it works. We'll get 2 shifts in the bank. I think they've been drafted in maybe to cover an illness or something like that. And the wee woman's, how can I help you? I want to transfer X amount to these 3 different organisations. And all of a sudden, the other cashiers and the other people who are working out in the bank first stick their head round the tables or something and saying, "All right, Davy." Wee woman's looking at me as if I'm daft. Next thing, she disappears with a bit of paper, and she comes back with all the references and all that on it. What normally goes on it for you and me to attain this each month. Just sign there, Mr. McGuinness. Transaction will be complete in a minute. I says, "It's Davy, hen. It's Davy."
Did you see the wee panel I put up over the weekend? Reference the reform, just having a bit of a laugh.
I've seen it now, aye.
Aye.
I'm going to leave reforming that to you, and I would say I'm going to leave.
No, I know, but I'll read it out what people say. Bottom dropping out your world. Vote reform and feel the world dropping out your bottom when you realise just what and who they are.
David, the reason why they're going to vote for reform is it's because they don't understand what and who they are.
That's what I'm saying. Should we tell them?
I did during your absence. I did a whole series on it.
Did you?
Aye, political theories, aye.
Well,
If you jump onto Sir Larry the Cat's YouTube channel, he serialised them all.
We only do it once. No, we do it over and over and over again. Where the fuck's this? Somebody's playing something on my phone.
I covered political theories and how to stay active in your democracy, covered what the Overton window was and things like that.
So we do it over and over and over.
No.
And over.
What we do is we direct these nice people and you to go and watch it in Sir Larry the Cat's a YouTube channel and share it because he makes me a cartoon and I'm brilliant. That's how you do it.
Is that a Scotland football mug?
It is, aye.
Well, Nathan McAllister's had mentioned that he's just asking the question, is that a Scottish football mug? It looks the same as his.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Nathan, Julie answered. See, we are open to your every whim.
I believe it was a raffle prize at one of the Indie Cafe nights.
You mean you didn't actually buy it? You should have bought it, you blowing. Yeah.
I didn't even buy the raffle ticket, David. That was Sarah.
DJ Martin says, should Scotland FA go to the US World Cup? No.
The team should go. The fans shouldn't.
Yes. I think it's, to be honest with you, it's too dangerous now. It really is.
The team should go because the FA will get fined if they don't go.
Yeah.
But the fans should not go.
You can imagine Trump waking up one morning and he hears about this protest that's going near his golf club in Scotland, and he goes, bastards. And he says to the Department of Homeland Security, right, every Scotland supporter, I want them all shot. Well, you can't do that, right? Oh, I want them all picked up and put back in a plane, right? There you go.
Right, that's enough about my coffee cup. All right. First story we're going to talk about today is quite serious. It's a serious subject, and it is the fact that Ash Regan, independent MSP, formerly of the Alpha Party, formerly of the SNP. Her Prostitution Scotland bill will not get Scottish Government support and will not advance any further in this session of Parliament.
Why is that, David?
Right. What she wants to do is make it illegal to sell sex. Or to buy sex, sorry. At the moment, it is illegal to sell sex. It's illegal to solicit for sex. Sorry, it's not illegal to sell sex, it's illegal to solicit for sex.
Yeah, to proffer. Yeah, right, fine.
Anyway, what this bill that Ash wanted to put through was going to endanger ladies of the night, because it would have meant that when the guy shows up, she can't ask him for the money in advance and things like that. So she's got to provide her services up front, and then the guy just beats her up and pisses off.
Yes.
Whereas, now, let's talk about the prostitution bill as it stands. You can't prostitutes can't solicit out in the streets, but they can online. They can come to private arrangements with men online and meet them.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's no illegal to sell or take money for sex. It's only illegal to solicit for sex for money. So a private arrangement is totally different from somebody stood on the street corner with their miniskirt on and their boobs out, you know, or running a brothel. So it is not illegal, and private arrangements apparently are happening all the time online these days. I wasn't aware of it. I had to find out about it from the article on why the Scottish Government wouldn't be supporting Ash Regan's bill. Now, they say they support the idea of just making it outright illegal to pay for sex in any form.
But I'll be honest with you, right? They say it's the oldest industry in the world, right? And to be honest with you, it's like there are situations whereby we've got men that might go out and harm women for sex, whereas this keeps them in check.
Well, that's the reason why they legalise it in other countries, because it cuts back on rape.
That's right.
If you can go down this shop and get what you're wanting,
you
don't have to go and abuse somebody in the street
or
at home.
Absolutely. So, plus the fact there's a lot of lasses that earn a decent living doing that, I would imagine. So at the end of the day, it's something whereby, okay, I wouldn't recommend any of the women in my family to do it, but at the same time, it's like I can imagine that some women find a way to actually separate their home life from their working life, and they go on and do it.
Obviously, the Scottish Government had to come at this decision from somewhere.
Yeah.
So they went and asked the workers.
Yeah.
And the sex workers said it would make it less safe for them, and it would push them back out on the streets. Because apparently you don't get streetwalkers anymore.
Well, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing that you don't get streetwalkers anymore?
I would imagine it is, because streetwalking must have been quite dangerous. You never know who's carrying.
And also, it brought down the social. What's the word I'm looking for? The social level.
The impact.
Yeah. The whole place looked dingy, but
sleazy.
Sleazy. That's the word. That's the word.
As I say, I wasn't aware of any of this stuff. I had to read the article. I didn't even know that there wasn't streetwalkers anymore. It's no. I live in a wee village and I'm married.
Yeah.
You know. But
did they pay tax?
I have no fucking idea. I don't think so.
No.
An undeclared earning, David.
It's a cash business. No, but that's the thing. That's the thing, though. If the men are paying for it online rather than going, there you are, and it's 50 quid or whatever it is, right?
No, they're only negotiating online. They're still going to go and meet the woman.
Oh, sorry. So they can't take the money up front.
I'm sure the day when the man gets there.
Like, I buy stuff from Amazon sometimes, right?
I know
Okay.
where you're coming from, David. No, it's no a brand. I don't think it's a bank transfer. I think the government would be aware of that sort of thing. You know,
Well, it's not even a bank transfer. It's just,
I
it's just.
don't want to make light of this subject because it is serious.
No. I'm not making light of it. It's a serious question.
Right.
If they're paying for it if they do pay for stuff online, right, then there is tax. If you like, it seems obvious to me. It's a route for the tax. Yeah.
Charlie, you can't come down here. I'm working. I don't think he gives a fuck. I'll keep his ass off the screen, all right?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, okay. Here we go again.
Just the way it is. He's wanting attention. You want to read the news for us, Charlie? But no, the other reason why the Scottish Government say that they won't support it is not that they don't support the idea in principle, because they do. But there wouldn't be time to get the next two stages through Parliament, plus amendments, before the Parliament's dissolved and the election. So there's three reasons why the Scottish Government says they won't support her bill. So her bill, which will be heard tomorrow, and there will be a few MSPs from the SNP who say they're going to rebel and vote with Ash for this bill.
They're just being. I think there's a few of them just being prudish for the Mrs. McGlumfors in this world. That's what it is. They go, oh yes, we stand against any form of prostitution.
No, as I say, David, it is a serious issue. I haven't seen the exact wording of the bill. I've seen a summary of where it is she wants to do, and that's just demonise or make it totally illegal to pay for sex in any form.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I guess we all support in principle, but you get practicalities to it as well.
Yeah.
And the practicalities was that it would endanger more women because you can't buy it, rate goes up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Quite a strange one, but there's no much going on in Scottish politics, apparently.
It affects certain people, so therefore, in Scotland, so therefore, it needs bringing out.
Right, right, let's move on. New education body, called Qualification Scotland, says it's going for a full-out rebrand of Scottish qualifications.
It's just more money for an organisation that does exactly the same as what it did last week.
Right, but as I say, the body's no just get a new name. It's going to rename all the exams. There you go.
It's going to rename what?
All the exams.
But they'll be the same exams they were last week.
Well, apparently they're not the same exams for O levels to GCSE, so why should it be any different? Afternoon, Darren. Welcome aboard.
Whose idea was this?
Well, apparently it's Qualification Scotland's idea to change the name, all the names of the qualifications, because let's face it, they've all got an SQA name. Anyway, David, if you want to know whose fault it was the Cuckoos and the Nest wanted rid of the Scottish Qualifications Agency. So they've got another agency now called Qualification Scotland, and they're going to rebrand all of the standards and the names of the exams. So,
but the problem we've got with this, and there is a problem we've got with this, is that when a kid comes to a particular company for a job, and he says, "I've got a V factor 5 qualification in sums," right? And the guy goes, "What the hell is that, son?" Right? Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. It means that as well as the schools keeping up with all the changes, or anybody that's going to employ anybody is going to keep up with all these blowing changes.
Aye.
So therefore, it should not, my vote would be, it should not change. It should stay exactly as it is to create stability and keep stability in our qualifications.
David, the SQA had functioned perfectly well for fucking generations.
Yes, I know.
The pandemic came along, the cuckoos in the nest called it unfit for purpose, and the Scottish government caved.
The idea is let's vote out the cuckoo's nest and keep the qualifications agency. Simple as that.
It's already, the new board's already been set up, renamed.
I know what you're saying, but at the same time, it's wrong, isn't it?
Well, as I was explaining this morning, this is how they waste our money, people.
Yes.
This is how they waste our money. How much do you think it's going to cost to rebrand our qualifications agency?
Yeah.
How much do you think it's going to cost to rebrand all these fucking and regrade all these qualifications?
And also the amount of time taken within the organisation to deal with that, when what they should be doing is dealing with the actual exams themselves.
And how much pressure is this going to pile onto lecturers, teachers, university professors, as they have to get their head wrapped around what they've been doing for years is now called XYZ instead of YZX.
Yeah, I know, David. Well, I hate this. It's grievance politics, but at the same time, in this particular one, it's absolutely spot on. Shouldn't be happening.
Public fucking money that annoys me.
I know.
It is the waste of public money.
Listen, it's like, seriously, I'll say it again. Time for independence, independence, independence. And get rid of these bastards out of our legislature. Simple as that.
As I say, as you say, David, imagine being an employer the day in one big office blocks and things like that. They're no like they were when we were coming into the workforce, and they won't exist in a couple of years' time because the stupid bastards are letting them build an AI centre here in North Lancashire, which will wipe out every call centre and every administrative need right across the central belt of Scotland.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, all these. So I'm running an office and I need an office junior, and I put an advert in the paper. I'm 55 and an 18-year-old trots in the door and lays these qualifications in front of me. How the fuck am I supposed to know what they are?
You don't know. Even if you looked it up online, you still wouldn't have an idea of it because you don't know how intensive that particular qualification is. Yeah.
Aye. I mean, when I left school, it was O levels hires, and if you didn't qualify, you get a Scottish school leaver certificate.
That's right. Then you get when you talk about the hires, you get A levels, A plus, whatever, and you're going, what the fuck is that?
Well, I had a wee bit of a strange one when it came to secondary education. I left school, joined the army with only my O grades, and while I was in the army, did my A grades because I was in England by then. And unfortunately, the guy says to me, "How do you scoosh them so well?" Because I fucking scooshed them. I says, "Because they are our O grades." I just resat the year before's tests.
Yeah.
Their A grade or A levels was the equivalent of our O level. And the guy was like, "How did you get through this course so fast?" I said, "Because I did last year from O grade." Mental. But no, it's just daft, folks. And the reason why we're bringing this one up is to point out how the cuckoos in the nest drive the waste of public money.
Yeah.
So now the GCSEs or whatever the fuck they're called will now become something different again. Yeah. Let's just hope we don't end up with 5 letters and an abbreviation this time instead of 4.
Right, come on, away. Next one.
That's a good news story. It's about investment in a storm.
Yes, this one is a real round of applause job.
It is a Stornoway deep water port is to get another berth. They're calling it Stornoway South, and at the moment it's been approved for planning and design, and that money is coming from Highlands and Islands Enterprise and the council, Highlands and Islands Council, 1.8 million for Enterprise and 643,000 from Highlands and Islands Council. And they've recently finished a different deep, the north port side, if you like, where they've put in a deep water slip, and that's allowed cruise ships to come to Stornoway now.
Well, the one thing I've got to tell you is that the geology round about there, because of the way, if you like, the Atlantic bashes against the west coast, you do get areas where the actual berths, the areas that you can actually get up with a boat is very, very deep, right? We've also got them just outside Glasgow. One important one is Hunterston Point, and we were talking about this online the other night there. That's where Chevron were looking to put a refinery so they could get the big super mega 1 million ton oil tankers up to that position, right? So this is good news. It really is good news. But what we were talking about the other night there was something whereby, okay, we've lost Grangemouth. We could actually take on board another refinery, because a refinery is really quite a simple thing. The thing that's difficult is finding people to run it. This is something different. I do apologise to you for interjecting with something that's not strictly the same thing, but it is important to get it out there.
Well, to be fair, David, these things will not be things that will be talked about after independence. They're all reserved.
Yeah.
Anyway, why are they just opened? They opened the North Port for cruise ships and that in 2024 at a cost of 49 million quid.
Yeah.
And they're hoping to be able to do the South slip for about the same amount of money, but it won't be. It'll be double it. Whatever it was in 2024, double it.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Now, design company and a soil mech company have been engaged, want to design the new slip, and a soil mech company has been employed to have a look at where's the best place to build it, right? Because obviously, solid rock underneath it would be quite handy, you know.
Yes. Well,
so
it is.
Somebody did a survey and what type of rock it is and what sort of weight it can support, that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you go around the coastline of that, you come down to Syllabos and the Hoggarbost, and that's where you get the great big enormous sands. But underneath those sands, solid rock. So,
well, as I say, that's it. It's definitely getting built.
Yeah.
Highland Island Council, and I was saying this morning in a good news story, another good news story in one of the newspapers was Highlands and Islands, Shetland and Orkney are delighted with the budget this year and their settlements. I dare say that other councils are not quite as happy. But a lot of the money that's gone to these islands is to invest in catering for offshore wind. And that's the whole idea of building this new slip, this new berth.
Yeah, it's not a slip, it's just a berth.
A berth.
Yeah.
Just two different names for something similar, David.
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea is that it will service the offshore wind industry, and it will also storage for construction materials, which they will need, and building those offshore wind facilities. So it's hoping to be a good investment. The other ones worked out to be a great investment because cruise ships now stop there. and that brings money into the local economy.
Oh, you'll be coming to Thornaway then, will you?
But this one is thought will probably create more employment.
Yeah.
Whereas the north one's keeping the tourist industry rather busy.
Yes.
I hope the south one will cater for other offshore industries, other
As
than
in big wind turbines, wind turbines,
anything else out there.
or tidal turbines,
Aye.
the ones that go underwater. Yeah.
Yep. So it is a good news story. It's a good news for the Highlands and Islands. It's a good news for Stornoway. And
that's what really excites me about Scotland right now, right? We've got all this stuff happening, right? It's an outpouring of opportunities. We're finding it in all the odd places. We're finding, okay, fine, you might live in the Western Isles. You think to yourself, well, what am I doing here? There's nothing here. Yeah, there is. Give it a few years and you'll have all sorts happening. Don't worry about it, right? And at the end of the day, it's like you look at that, Stornoway. Bloody hell, man, that must be buzzing.
Well, the other thing is, all these islands are looking for people to move to the islands to increase the population of the island. Because the more people you have on the islands, then the more infrastructure you require and the more services you require to service the people.
That's right.
So life on the islands becomes much better. I mean, old friend of yours, Angus Brendan McNeil, he's been screaming about needing independence because of this.
Yeah.
For that very reason, for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So
he's only like it. There's going to be somebody else driving his quad bike and all the rest of it. He'll be upset. I'm telling you.
But it is true. You know, if you can't keep your population, if you can't expand the population in the islands, people will move to the mainland for opportunities. You know. So, away it goes. But that's why it's a good news story, because if they can get industry in there, it'll encourage people to go there and to live there, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that Ashbury Simple saying? Pete and Diesel, Stornoway.
Pete and Diesel. Aye.
Sounds like a comedy double act, Pete and Diesel. And here we are tonight for 3 nights, Pete and Diesel.
This is an interesting one, David. You brought this one to my attention.
Go on then.
And that is building bridges with Israel.
Aye.
A cross-parliamentary group. Actually, they're all fucking Tories, but we'll get there. Cross-parliamentary group and the Scottish Parliament may well have broken parliamentary standards, apparently.
Now, hang on. See, when somebody says the broken parliamentary standards, you've got to realise the seriousness of this situation, right? This isn't just where somebody's maybe stirred the tea 3 times instead of 2, or put 3 sugar cubes in it instead of 2, right? This is serious. This is where people from Israel have come in and they've been in there and haven't been registered.
Right, hold on, David. You need to say it to it. You're assuming you're assuming that people know this story, so it's best to let them understand what the story's about before we get to that point you just made.
Right, go on.
Right, now, this Building Bridges for Israel group has allegedly broken standards by covering up people who attend their meetings who are non-MSPs. Now, according to parliamentary rules, parliamentary lobby groups like Building Bridges for Israel, Building Bridges for Israel, they have to declare who attends their meetings, MSPs and non-MSPs.
Yeah, everybody that's doing such a group should be writing down who was in, MSPs were there, other people were there, or the rest of it, right? When it took place. The minutes of the meeting are really, really important, right? So, who's complaining about it?
Mothers Against Genocide.
As you would
Anyway,
imagine.
they brought it to the attention of the National, and they did a deep dig into the rules on lobby groups like this within the Parliament.
Yeah.
And they discovered that right up until September this year, I know this because you told me, they had complied with the rules, and that was that they would list MSPs and non-MSPs who attend their events.
Yeah.
They started not complying with the rules in September, November and December's meetings, where they put in the names of the MSPs who attended, but not the various numbers of non.
So, can we have a flavour of who the MSPs are? To begin
Oh,
with?
certainly. So who's in this Build Bridges for Israel group?
Right, who's the convener?
The convener is Tory Jackson Carlow.
Who's the deputy convener?
Ex-SNP and Independent, Fergus Ewan.
Tory.
Aye.
Sorry. Right.
Douglas Ross is a member. Stephen Kerr's a member. Tess White's a member. And Independent ex-Tory John Kerr. So they're all Tories, David.
Yeah.
Even Fergus Ewan.
If you're conservative, they're conservative friends of Israel. That's what
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like, look, guys, I've no. If you, that's how you feel that you need to behave, but you need to be aware. And this is me talking to the Tory party. You need to be aware the whole of Scotland are looking at you and looking at this and thinking that's a bad look. That you know, Israel are performing a genocide on the people of Gaza, and you support that. That's not a good look. So
there must be an interesting conversation going on in the chat because Gordon's saying, what's the thing about if you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about? I've got no fucking idea. It's your conversation, no yours. Anyway, folks, the interesting thing is they complied with the rules right up until September of 2025, and then they stopped. I wonder why they stopped, David.
They stopped quite simply because the people that were inviting in did not want to be named.
That's
and the group didn't want to name them.
That sounds about right.
Because that would be very, very embarrassing for all concerned.
Now, what can Mothers Against Genocide do about this?
Well, dead simple. There's a wee group that they can actually go to, a committee they can go to. What's it called again, David? What's the name?
Parliamentary Standards, Procedures and Appointments Committee.
Appointments, that's the one, that's one.
And it's part of the Petitions Committee brief, folks. So, you know how.
Look, what's going to happen is they'll be reported to that particular committee, right? If the committee finds you lot are out of order, right, they'll be kicked upstairs. And then there'll be questions asked for it in Holyrood.
Now, do you know what the ultimate sanction is?
Go on then.
The lobby group gets banned.
Yes.
And has to be disbanded from the Parliament.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you should never, ever, have any foreign concern, and it is foreign concern, taking part in any part of our legislature. And that's what it sounds like to me. But when you consider that England's foreign to me, it is, I'm sorry, it is, right? Then
David, what's interesting?
Are they in there? You know, so simple as that.
What was interesting about this particular article to me goes back to what we were talking about earlier when I was doing that wee series. I was doing shows for myself, with myself when I was doing Article 5 as a political education thing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
These are the things I was talking about to the audience in these in that section of the programme about how people participate in their democracy and understand how to use their democracy. Now, what was the national newspaper's advice to this group, Mothers Against Genocide? Take it to the petitions committee.
Yeah, that's right.
Make a complaint to that committee, and they'll take it forward to the prevalent in-house committee for consideration for sanction.
You know, in a situation like this one in particular, I really don't know why people are having to jump over hurdles to actually get there. This should be taken up automatically.
Somebody's got to make a complaint to the committee.
Yeah, I know, but the fact it's in that procedures and appointments committee that should be enough.
Yep, Mothers Against Genocide just have to fire a petition into the petitions committee, and they'll hand it over to that other committee to deal with.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Have you ever actually seriously gone through putting together a petition to get into the Scottish government?
No.
I have. I've tried, and it's no easier, can I assure you.
David, it is pretty easy. The procedures are all there.
You know, tell that to my Titan pool. Sorry.
It's pretty straight. I mean, as you know, David, I take part in a lot of the public consultations. I even use your group names sometimes in them. You all know that.
Do you know something? Last night, I actually had to vote on the list of MPs, the list of MSPs. And put them in order, 1 to 10. It took me an hour, more than an hour, to actually do it. Because a lot of them you don't know, but to give them a fair chance. Yeah, what I'm saying is, all things like that can take a long time.
Oh, aye.
Yeah,
the petitions committee is quite straightforward, David. I even talk people through on these things I was talking about.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that the National advised this women's group, Women Against Genocide, to do exactly what I was saying in order to participate in your democracy.
Yeah.
And that was to take this to the petitions committee, and they will hand it very quickly to the standards committee, because there's a clear breach of standards here. So, I did a whole section on participating in your democracy 24 hours a day, you know. 365 days a year. Which is, we'll do it again. We'll do it again, David.
I think you should do it again and again, and again and again.
I think I might just pop up Larry the Cat's cartoons, and you and I can sit back and take a 10-minute break. No, David, honestly, folks, if you haven't seen how Larry the Cat serialised me talking about the different political theories that are out there, and how to participate in your local and regional democracies 365 days a year. Now, down to Sir Larry's timeline, it's part 1 to 6.
Can I just
very good?
Can I just pop in there? Wake up and smell the rosemary says, haven't voted yet, need to read the statements, right? Unless you know a lot of these people, right, you don't have a chance. It takes you ages to read the statements and go through and find out who they are and all the rest of it. That's what the trick is. There's a lot of people just won't do it.
No, they'll just grade them. No care.
Yeah, I took my time and I actually got them in.
I'll take my time at all.
It's the thing though. It's like if people are just going, I just want to turn it, right? Then that defeats the whole purpose.
Of course it does.
That means the amount of time that you take and the time I take are lost because somebody else is just going out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Yeah.
Aye, but like you and Rosie, I will. And when I open my email, I'll go through all the different options and what the different statements were.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll make my mind up based on that. But normally, of course, there'll be a recommended favourite for your region. Ignore it and go for whatever you think is right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we're going to talk about the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, David.
Oh my! Why? Is there something interesting happening?
There's a story to fucking tell here.
Yes, there is.
It has been coming out over the last few days for people like myself, people in our audience, and Professor John Robertson.
Yeah.
Over at Talking Up Scotland.
He's brilliant. He's somebody that we don't give a great deal of time and notice to. But I tell you what, seriously, the man's wonderful the way he puts things across.
I'll tell you what, maybe give him a phone and see if he wants to come on.
Yeah. That'll be an idea. He'd probably enjoy that.
Well, he did that speech for us outside the BBC show.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I'll grab a John and see if he wants to come on. He might tell me to bugger off, he's too busy, but hello, can I ask him?
John Robertson, just taking it back a wee bit. Do you remember when he took all his stuff with the BBC bias to the Scottish Parliament?
Aye.
And the BBC blooming piled in and tried to get him sacked.
Aye.
Do you remember that?
Aye.
I thought, because he's University of West of Glasgow. West of Glasgow. Is where he works. And the situation where the BBC would actually try and go in and have the man sacked is unbelievable, right?
I'll tell you the other thing he did. Do you know why his blog post called John Robertson instead of Professor John Robertson?
Why? He hates being called Professor.
No, they denied him his emeritus status.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
That's why when he retired, he had to drop the name. He had to drop Professor because he wasn't made Emeritus Professor.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's like the people that got him dropped. That's the one thing we should make sure we do, is from now on, John Robertson is now Professor John Robertson.
I'll always be Professor John Robertson to you and I, fuck.
Yeah.
But that's what he did to him as his punishment.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to talk about Queen Elizabeth University Hospital.
Yeah, come on then. Let's
in the timeline and what transpires. We're going to talk about political pressure and where it came from.
Yeah.
Right, folks, I'm going to take you back to 2015. And Glasgow City Council had a Labour councillor, and its outgoing leader, Gordon Matheson, wanted that hospital opened as his legacy. On that board, there are 13 executive members. There's also non-executive members, but that's not important. There's 13 executive members, and 9 of them were Labour councillors. A further one of them was an aide to Jackie Baillie.
Right, so I'll just stop you there, right? Here we have it's a initiative, if you like, has come from a Labour city.
Yep.
Builds a big hospital, right? It's Labour councillors.
Yep.
It's a Labour council, so it's a Glasgow is a Labour city, right?
It was at the time, aye.
Yeah, and so we've got a picture. It's now Labour, right? Mm-hmm. Carry on.
And as I say, Gordon Matheson was leaving.
Yeah.
And he wanted this hospital being opened as part of his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to political pressure, when I think back to it now, because I know who one of the non-executive members was, they were talking about this pressure that was coming from the councillors on the board to get this fucking hospital open in time. So that's the story, folks. The reason why there was political pressure on the board, it was coming from within. It was coming from 9 Labour councillors on that board who wanted that hospital open on time, on budget, as part of Gordon Matheson's legacy.
It would be nice to think that this was a simple case of projection by Sawa, right? But what we've got to understand is is that the person in charge of Scottish Labour at the time was Kezia Dugdale, and our best pal was Jackie Bailey, right? And Jackie Bailey at that time was Western Bartonshire as well, all the rest of it, right? So therefore, there was no way, absolutely no way, they could make us up wrongly. So in other words, think, oh well, maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong, right? They knew exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
They know exactly what they're doing now when they're accusing the SNP. They know exactly where they are. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly how guilty they are of putting pressure on to get that hospital opened early.
The same Labour Council that denied equal pay for women.
You're absolutely right.
That
Spot
one.
on, Hashbury Stumble. Spot on, right?
Oh, and for any of you that are interested, Viper Scots put up the link to Professor David McGuinness's political education and Sir Larry the Cat's a YouTube channel. Because that's what he is when Sir Larry begged me as I was doing these things. Professor McGuinness. So it's not the first time I've been called that. My mother used to call me her wee professor and all.
Well, it's funny you should say that. At school, what was my nickname?
Was it?
It's a prof.
Ah, cool.
Is that, yeah? So
back to the hospital.
So we got two profs here. And
back to the hospital.
Yes. Let's get back to the hospital.
The pressure came from within.
Yeah.
And it came from Labour councillors and a Glasgow City Council, Labour-run council. They wanted the glory of this hospital being opened on time and on budget. The Scottish Government had just won a massive majority in the Westminster election, and to be fair, they couldn't do anything wrong in the eyes of the public. So if the hospital was going to be delayed for a couple of months, the Scottish Government said safety concerns, the public just went, aye, all right, mate.
That's right.
You know, so
plus the fact we had the situation where Nicola Sturgeon has just shortly taken over the reins, right? 6 months previously, right? And it's like she was still getting her feet under the table, yeah.
Yep. Now, folks, if you want to see that series on political education, Viper Scott 1, Alistair, has just put up the whole bloody lottery on part 1 to 5. There's another one down there, Alistair. No doubt it'll be popping up shortly. So if you want to watch them at the end of the show,
part 6 there is. Part 6 there is.
If you want to watch them at the end of the show, go back, play again with real-time comments at the point where we are 53 minutes into the programme. I know the links will be there for you to look at. If you haven't seen them, grab one and watch them. They're really well done.
Well, do you think I'll learn something?
No, but I think you'll like the quality of the animation and things like that.
Only kidding you on, you bugger you.
David, I don't think you would learn anything because you and I discuss this stuff all the fucking time. Saying that right enough, you'd recently lost your marbles for a wee while. You might have left some of them back here.
Fucking argue it all the time. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, you're lying that hospital, you might have left a couple of marbles back there. I'm not quite sure.
All right, or meringue.
No, it's definitely a meringue. So, hey, thanks very much, Alistair, for sticking them up. As I say, they're good fun, folks.
The most important thing is that now we're getting a true picture of what actually went on at that time. And what we have is, this is not of the SNP's wanting. The SNP did not want to have a stusha like this whatsoever. This was the Labour Party, because they're so bloody desperate. They know they're going to get a belting when it comes to the election, right? And they're that bloody desperate. They're prepared to do anything.
Unfortunately for them, they're not that bright, as we already know, because it hasn't.
No, but it's not just that. Children did die.
David, more importantly, when it comes to what's been recently said about that hospital, it's a fine example of a lie having its boots on and being halfway across the world
Yes,
before the roof. truth has the slightest chance to catch up.
The thing is, though, this, I'm against any public inquiries. This is one where I would have a public inquiry, and have Bailey and Sawa in the blooming seats getting questioned for hours over this one.
Right.
Seriously.
As I say, but when you think about the recent Stussy being kicked up by the Labour Party, and did they not think we were going to go looking for the truth?
That's what I kind of think. A lot of people nowadays are carrying a library inside their pocket. And if somebody comes and actually spouts a lie like that, straight away you've got to think, well, people, not everybody, but a lot of people are going to go, hang on a second, I'll just go and check that.
That's not the reason why I went looking for it. I didn't go to check a lie. I went to make sure it was I wanted to check the truth of the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People go, well, is that right?
But that's a habit for me. I did that with everything.
You know, but okay.
I think the problem is, David, people get used to no checking. When you and I were growing up, we checked everything.
Yes, you have to.
And then the internet came along and made it easier for us to check everything.
Sure.
But we were brought up with the idea that somebody tells you something, you go and check for yourself.
Yeah. In other words, the idea of don't believe it if it's on the TV or on the papers.
Don't believe it until you verified it yourself.
Yeah. It was something from the 50s and 60s was the case. You know, so yeah.
But I think they forget that people like us around who still remember how we were educated. Somebody tells you something, we're not sure about it, go find out for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And at that time, that was a lot of hoof work.
Aye.
I mean, it was a library,
Yep.
and it was a main library to actually get newspapers, that sort of thing, right? So, don't know if you know this. This is quite interesting. The British Library has a copy of every newspaper in the United Kingdom, stretching back for was it 150 years, something like that, right? And they've actually got repositories of those newspapers in York and Leeds and places like that. They're big storehouses, right?
What they're doing, David, at the moment, as you know, same as they're doing in the Scottish National Library, is they're digitising it all so they can get rid of all that stuff.
But you can imagine that is quite a considerable job.
And they absolutely right there, Andy Scott Bryan, before they started digitising it to try and save space, they started putting it in microfiche.
Microfiche, that's right. Yes.
So listen, guys, I'm afraid we've run out of time. We haven't even got to cover the disaster.
Can I ask a question? Not often I ask a question. I was trying to find out. I made the front page of the Telegraph for my sound system at Sunderland Stadium of Light that I designed. And it went in the front page of the. It was a case of. I wonder if I could find that. I can never find it.
What date?
1997. There'd been late summer 1997. Telegraph.
What was the headline?
Front page.
1997.
Sunderland Stadium of Light. Sound system.
Right, we'll talk about it half air. I'll write it. We'll find it for you.
Yeah, just interesting. That's all. It'd be nice. I'm an old man, so having things like that, you go, oh, that's interesting.
No, it's right. You know what's really interesting is, you know where to fucking find it and haven't you looked?
I've already looked. I've looked.
Oh, so you've looked at the UK National Library, have you? In the 250-year repository.
I've missed it then. You know what I mean?
Aye. You've missed it. I'll go and have a look.
It's your own size in the middle of a front page sort of thing, you know.
Well, I'll see if I can find it for you, David. 1997 summer.
Aye. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see if we can find that for you. We'll go to the National Library. We'll go to the National Library of England and Wales and have a look in the newspaper section.
That's a good idea. It's time for independence. Get
your eyes back in the prize, you silly old bugger. You just tell everybody who's got all the newspapers. Sometimes you wonder.
Oh,
yeah. Eyes on the prize, man.
He says, laugh. I nearly handed the facts round. Right, sorry.
You've just told everybody else where to find this fucking stuff, and you've no fun it. Well, 1997 summer. I'll find it for you. All right. Right, guys. Thanks very much for any super chats that have come in this afternoon. Thanks very much to the moderators for moderating. Sorry, the spanners for spannering, especially Alistair, who's been busy promoting my videos. Thanks very much, Alistair.
Statler and Moto, though. That was pretty good. Oh, this wasn't that good. It was bloody awful.
And by the way, apparently P&D's are not a bad group. Apparently they played Elgin recently.
Right, anyway. Okay, guys. Have a good one. David, I'll pick you up tomorrow morning at 10:30. And it's like we get on with the week, all right?
Aye.
And just see what's happening. The thing that's really, really awful is, I mean, the Herald, I've just went, I'm not going to bother reading it. In actual fact, I've unlinked the algorithm on the Herald, so I don't get any more Herald stories coming up. It's clickbait. We know it's clickbait. We've always known it's been clickbait, but it just gets a rise out of you, and I don't want to give them that. I don't want to give that enjoyment. So, see you later, guys. Bye.
See you in a moment, guys. Sometimes he's hard work.
Sometimes.
Oh, hold on before we go.
What?
We may well have a special guest for you lot on Thursday.